Life of a door knocker can be tough. Having doors slammed in your face on a daily basis, people not exactly hearing what you have to say.
What?
Not the most friendly customer.
Not interested. Now get the off my property, and by the way, go get a real job.
The good news is, it doesn't have to be that way. Welcome to the Door-to-Door Mastery Podcast, where it's all about increasing your confidence, building rapport with your customers, and closing more sales. Here is your host, Paul Shakuri.
Paul Shakuri on the air here. What's up, my Door-to-Door Mastery fans? I love you all. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to listen to me and to get better at door-to-door sales, because you will, so long as you stick in with it. Or did you start doing door-to-door sales because you just wanted to try it out? Test driving door-to-door sales? We're going to be talking about that in this episode. If you're a manager or an owner, you're going to want to listen up just as much as the person who's thinking of test driving, well, door-to-door sales. You cannot test drive door-to-door sales, and I'm going to get into the details of that. But also for you people who are kind of on the teeter-tottering on the sideline saying, I wonder if door-to-door sales is for me, if I can do it. I'm going to give you guys tips and pointers. So stay tuned. Every single podcast is jam-packed with quality information that will help you take your sales ability to that next level, knocking on those doors, okay? I got the answers not because I've done it 1, 2, 3 times, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 1 summer program, 2 summer programs, 3 summer programs, but year after year after year. I'm talking close to 9 years of hardcore knocking, not just knocking, like kind of going out there. You know, I'm really talking hardcore knocking on doors. People all the time say, hey, Paul, can you come out and knock with me? It's like, yeah, if I had the time to. Right now, I've gotten myself to the point where I have multiple businesses that are literally giving me a headache because I'm one of these entrepreneurs that have all these different types of businesses on my mind, and I want to create them all. But if you don't stick to one thing and one thing only especially, you're not going to master that one thing, okay? If you have a couple $100,000 in your bank account just sitting there, well, then that's when you can go and focus on other stuff, like in reinvesting into a business that, or whatever it is you want to do in your next part of your life. That's what door-to-door sales is about. It's not about knocking on doors for the rest of your life. Although mastering door-to-door sales means you can always go out there and make money no matter what. Just keep your head clean. That's the key here, folks. I need you guys to keep your head clean. I need you guys to be in a rightful mind when you're out there knocking. Because if you're just going out there and you're knocking on a day-to-day basis with such a cloudy mindset, it's going to be really hard for you, even no matter how experienced you are, to do very well at door-to-door sales. You know, it really takes someone who's dedicated to understanding that I can go out there with the proper knowledge and then the proper offer that I have from a company, you know, that should be paying you, like I always say, if it's $50 to $100 a sale, it should be a type of sale where you're writing, you know, close to 3 to 5 accounts a day. You know, these are the type of numbers that you should be seeing in a door-to-door sales job. Or if you're getting paid, you know, like alarms, anywhere from $300 all the way up to $500 a sale, $800 a sale, whatever it is, you know, you should be focusing on a minimum of 1 sale a day, okay? But how are you going to achieve these results if you have the mindset of, hey, I'm going to test drive. I'm going to test drive door-to-door sales and see if it's for me. Or I just got started and I'm going to find out if door knocking is for me. Someone who's going to find out if door knocking is for them, how much energy are they going to put? How much efforts is a person like that going to put into knocking on those doors?
Door-to-doormastery.com, your source of motivation, information, and inspiration to closing more sales. Selling door-to-door, that's door-to-doormastery.com.
So I want to talk to you guys about putting energy and efforts into door-to-door sales and how it relates in the downward spiral, the upward trend that you can possibly have. So anything you do in life, If you put your maximum potential, which is the most you have, into something, well, more than likely, you're going to get such a wonderful result. You're going to get a higher result, meaning if you try to jump super high over the bar, but you kind of just try to get over there, are you really going to get over that bar? Especially if you're new and you're fighting to learn how to do it. Or if you were to give it your all and just go run at it and jump as high as you possibly can to get yourself over that bar, do you have a better chance at clearing that bar if you really gave it your all? If you went to the gym the weeks before, if you did whatever it took, you gave it your all. Well, what happens to these high jumpers when they get over that bar the first time? What happens to their confidence levels? My energy, my efforts, hard work that I put into it, the more energy and efforts I put into it, the more of my potential I actually put into it, well, my result is that much greater. And guess what happens when your result is that much greater and you cross that bar? You jump over that bar and you finally cross it. Well, what happens to how much more energy and effort you go back to training? How much more energy and effort are you excited to actually put into your education, into how you can even better yourself? It's an onward spiral. However, people who don't put that much energy and efforts in the beginning, well, how much more of your actual potential are you putting into this? You're not putting a lot, right, of your potential. So how do you expect to come out with wonderful results? How? If you're test driving and you're listening to this podcast because you're trying to figure out if door-to-door sales is for you or not, you need to decide if you want door-to-door sales to be for you or not. Now, this may be crazy hard to understand, ridiculously hard to understand. And those of you who have already put, sales under your belt and are the opposite, you're like nodding your head. I know you're like, Paul's speaking my language. I get that often. You're like, dude, the stuff you say on the air, it's like, that's exactly what goes through my head. I know because I've done it. I've been there like over and over and over again. But more importantly, I've trained thousands of door knockers to get themselves to that level. And through that process, I've asked, I'm a big why person. Why do you guys think like that? Why do you think like that? How come? And let's find a way to correct it. I'm a problem solver. I am a problem solver by nature. If I'm doing something and I'm not getting the result I desire, it only means I got to change something up until I get that desire, until I actually get what I'm looking to create. What is my end result? What's the definition of insanity? Doing the exact same thing over and over and over again, except expecting a different result. But you're getting that same exact result. Okay? You're bashing your head against the wall. Now, if anybody, and I don't say it in case Mike Tyson's listening, but, if I were to go in and test drive to see if I'm going to be able to fight Mike Tyson or not in the actual ring, you think that's a good... what's that word? Is that a good thought process behind it? If I'm going to be fighting Mike Tyson, I better be freaking pumped and figuring out how I'm going to do this. I better be giving it my all in the gym, training, education, my reflexes, whatever it is. You got to give it your all. So how is it any different for door-to-door sales? And this, I hate it when door-to-door sales get such a bad name because people have tried it. I test drive door knocking and it's not for me. It's not for you because you chose for it not to be for you. I promise you. Eliminate the thoughts from your mind. For those of you door knockers who are listening to this right now, who have, had a couple bad days, bad weeks, trust me, I am not coming down on you. I've had bad days. I've had bad weeks. You may not have gotten a sale yet and it's been 2 weeks in. It only means you're doing something wrong, okay? You need the proper education, the proper guidance. You need the proper management team, and your management team should be providing that for you. If you're fighting to actually make it work, be patient, okay? Be patient, stick in there. And if you're on 100% commission and your commissions are not covering your bills, well then find another job to cover the bills, just enough, but also go out there and if your manager lets you and really fight to make it happen. Because once it clicks, man, it clicks. Once door-to-door sales clicks for you, man, it clicks. How would you like to go out there and close 3 $500 sales a week, making $1,500 a week. Where can you go making that? Where can you go doing that without an education even? Where can you go doing that? Door-to-door sales is all about that. And I've created my Door-to-Door Masters member area. Just so you know, my Door-to-Door Masters member area that I talk about, it's if you go to doortodoormastery.com and you actually on the right-hand side click on Learn How to Sell, that image, it's my Door-to-Door Mastery program. It's right under official products on the right-hand side. You'll see it in gold. If you click on that, you'll go directly to my website, on the website, you'll go to the page where I actually talk about my Door-to-Door Mastery program. And if you haven't already opted in for my free video series, go to doortodoormastery.com, and to the right at the top, it says free video series. In that free video series, you'll actually get video 1, which is the opener pitch. Very important you learn. I presented in front of a big audience, the opener pitch and everything about it. Features and benefits. Many of you guys don't know how to present your features and benefits, yet alone know what your features and benefits are, yet alone know what features and benefits are that distinguish the difference between them and how to use them, which is fine. If you're new, I promise you, I'm here to give you that education and to enlighten you along the way. And more importantly, motivate you to say, yes, you can. Yes, you can do it. You can do it. You can put your mind to it. You can learn this stuff. You can study this stuff. I can be your teacher. I can be your coach. I can guide you through the path of closing more sales, because that's what video number 3 is, closing more sales, the actual close. Then I talk about joining the actual community in video number 4. So why is it that certain people want to test drive door-to-door sales? Because they don't believe they have it within them. So if I were to jump in and kind of give you a little taste of what would happen, what happens at the doors, when you start off, this job is just like an airplane that's taken off. You use a lot of fuel in the beginning. Just like if you're out of shape and you want to get back in shape, you're going to use a lot of your fuel and energy, mental capacity, going into what it is you need to do and then actually doing it to kickstart that. Going from sitting on the couch or not really going to the gym and exercising, or waking up early to go to the gym and exercise, or dieting or eating healthy, and all these crazy things that is required of you to become in shape and fit and look like me. No, I don't look that great right now. I'm not in the best tip-top shape. As a matter of fact, I'm struggling with that right now, even though I used to have a killer six-pack, and part of what I used to do for a living required me to be in shape. You see, once we fall out of that spiral, once we fall out of that routine, that rhythm, that you're up on that high horse, let's somewhat to say, it takes work to get back up there. It takes work and efforts and energy. So I know you're listening to it, whether you're at the gym right now, congratulations, or you're on turf knocking, you will be listening to this over and over again. I know, because this information is priceless for a door-to-door salesperson or any entrepreneur that really wants to get out there and make things happen. You cannot half it. You can't half ace it. You can't. You have to ace it all the time. You have to. Why? Because if you're not excited, you're not pumped, you're not giving your all, you're not putting all the energy and efforts into it, you're going to get that result. And how do you get a better result? Quite simple. You put as much effort and energy into learning and growing what you want to accomplish and what you want to learn. So you're here doing door-to-door sales. Do you know how much work and effort there is into putting and creating a podcast? The majority of you don't understand that, but perhaps you want to be a podcaster of whatever it is you master. It may be door-to-door sales. You eventually end up mastering it, and you can teach other forms and aspects of ways that you learned it that I wasn't touching on. Although, I kind of find it pretty hard because I literally go through almost everything. But yeah, you can teach a different venue, a different avenue. But more importantly, what if you wanted to create something else, such as, let's just say you're a phenomenal carpenter, or you want to teach other people who want to be a lawyer about the process that you did and went through on a podcast, or whatever it is. You can do it once you have once the time is right. You have the proper you're in a well financial place, and you continue to grow with whatever it is you want to do. Having said that, let's hit the other promo.
Strategically designed with the door knocker in mind. Best door knocking tips and advice at doortodoormastery.com.
So I remember when I was at a place in my door knocking career where I wanted to quit and give up. And, things weren't going well. People who were telling me, Paul, let's go to the game store and play this online gaming, whatever it was we'd be going to. I was a sucker for that. I did that. I did it a couple times. Did that mean my end result where I'm at today was impossible? Going that route? Yeah, it would be. I know those same people who are still in the business who are making a huge six-figure income over and over and over again. In the Canadian market, by the way. They're in the Canadian market. So people who wonder if the Canadian market's different than the American market, yeah, it is. Every market's different, but you need to learn how to adapt to your environment. And in order to adapt to something, how many years does it take for people to adapt to new change? It takes many, many years for some people. Some people, they adapt really quick. But the key is it takes time. So if something takes a little bit of time, what do you think if you have the mindset about test driving door-to-door sales? Well, you're going to go out there and you're going to fall on your face. And I'm here to tell you that for you business owners, 99% of the people coming in, if you're placing ads, okay, if you came in off of an ad to a door-to-door sales job that somebody who's never had door-to-door sales experience in the past is actually applying, they're test driving door-to-door sales. I don't care what you say, who you are. You're that 1% if you're listening right now and you're like, no, I actually thought. No, I've done it over and over again. My sales team, my management team. I'm not saying that people who come off those ads are bad. I've had plenty of great people, but 99% are test driving. I don't care if they say, oh my God, you did such an awesome presentation. I'm going to be your top sales guy. Everything's going to go good. It's in them to prove themselves. This job, door-to-door sales, is all about proof. The proof is in the amount of doors you knock on. The proof is in how many doors you can get beat up from. But once you have enough beat up, I don't want to say black eyes, but once you have enough doors that have beat you up, you become immune to knocking on those doors and talking to people. And it's not bad. I'm not saying you get beat up by people swearing at you and people. No, I mean just getting rejected. No, thank you, man. We're just not interested. So people have a fixed belief before they start knocking on doors, like door-to-door sales is all about getting rejected. Door-to-door sales is about people telling you to go F yourself. Door-to-door sales is all about, no, it's not true. I want you guys to hear this. I want you, the listener, to hear what I'm about to say. Door-to-door sales, no, it is not about getting rejected 9 out of 10 times. It's the exact opposite. 9 out of 10 people will actually listen to what you have to say. And now there are good things about that, but on the contrary, there's also bad things to that. What do I mean about that, folks? What do I mean about that, folks? Well, the good side to 9 out of 10 people listening to you is out of every 10 doors you knock on, you have a 90% chance of somebody listening to you. So they open the door, they listen to you, but what do they tell you? Not interested, right? They tell you not interested. Now, in my door-to-door mastery program, I want you to understand this. I get into the extreme details of this step of how to take people from you knocking on the door. They're listening to you. 9 out of 10 people will listen to you, but they close you within the first literally, I'd say minute and say, thank you very much, man. We're just not interested. How to take those exact same people. And I've shown people who I've actually mirrored with. I said, okay, you constantly get this not interested. I want you to understand that there's some issue with the way you're presenting yourself, what you're saying at the door, how you're presenting yourself, more importantly than how you're presenting yourself. I want to show you. What's going to happen is I'm going to want you to start and open the pitch. Okay, you open the pitch and say, hi, how are you? Whatever you say. And right when they jump in and close you within the first 30 seconds to a minute, I'm going to show you how I'm going to turn that person around from not interested, about to close the door, into an actual sale. How do I do that? It's not magic. Believe me, I'm not gifted. I'm not talented to the point where it's magic. It may seem like that in the beginning because I remember the first month I was knocking on doors. It seemed like the people who were getting sales and who were at the top would have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 sales, 8, 10 sales in a day in my summer program. It seemed like they were like magicians. It seems like that right now. However, when you learn how simple, not easy, how simple it really is, and when you start presenting yourself in the right way, in the proper manner, you take those people and, just 1 second, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so. His name's Brad here, by the way, and he's actually in training. Now, I just want to ask you one quick question, and we actually are very busy too. You mentioned you're not interested, and we respect your time extremely. Well, first of all, what exactly aren't you interested in what he was presenting to you? Well, whatever you're selling. If you don't mind me asking, what exactly was he selling? I don't know. I just don't got time for it right now. No, I completely understand. If we were to pretty much summarize it up in like 30 seconds, and I kind of stutter on purpose and squint my eyes, summarize it, in like about 30 seconds for you, would you at least give us that 30 seconds? And now remember, I'm fighting back what somebody already wanted to slam the door. So I'm kind of holding on for dear life here to try and grab some traction. Yeah, go ahead, man. Sorry, go ahead. I mean, it's not life or death. I'm not like that busy, whatever they say, at that point. It's like, all right, we're out here and we're creating a presence. And I go into it and I say, this is what we're doing. And, I really want you to understand before, you may not be interested, which I respect, but if you give us a little time in the day to actually see if our product is at least remotely cool, you can, okay, yeah, go ahead. Have you ever heard of home automation, for example? And I'll go into, have you heard of security home automation, the new keypad panel, da-da-da-da-da? Have you heard of that at least? I'm not going to get into the details, so don't worry. Like I said, I want to get you back to what you were doing. No, go ahead. Now they start interacting with me and engaging with me. I did not do anything special there, but I want you to understand, you will become just like that. You can get that good at presenting yourself. Because I was actually coaching, a person over the phone here the last couple days ago, and I want you to understand that I was coaching him, and I wanted him to focus on, more importantly, and that's Cliff, by the way. Cliff, I know you're a listener of the show too. I was coaching you, and Cliff, and everybody who's listening to this, you need to more or less focus on, your mental mind state, and more importantly, how you're presenting yourself, not what you're saying. Because I've proven, like I was telling Cliff on the phone, I've proven people over and over and time again. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. What do I mean by that? So I've even gone and said, hey, yeah, you're the homeowner here, right? With people shadowing me. We're actually out here doing the actual lines and the power of, about all of what's been happening in the neighborhood with the extravagance of its extrapolation, right? Sorry, what's that? Well, how they take out the best way to say it, and I kind of stutter, and again, I don't do this at every door. I just do this when I'm training salespeople to have you guys understand, and then I'll get the sale. I'll close it. Believe me, I'll close many of these, and I'll even engage and talk further with them. But they're like, sorry, I'm confused. Well, what's basically been happening? Have you heard of, for example, home automation products like such as? No, I haven't. Okay, you have not lost the sale because you screwed up a couple of words here and there, or you didn't say the right thing the first. Just understand, because this is important. This is vital. For you door-to-door knockers out there, door-to-door salespeople out there, business-to-business salespeople, you guys need to understand, if you kind of fumble, it's not the end of the world. You have millions of other doors, but more importantly, you can still get that sale, I promise you. They are not listening to every word you're saying. Until you understand that, they are not listening to every word that you are saying. You're not going to be progressing further within your sale. And that's a whole podcast of its own, is actually, people listening to you. How much do they listen to you, and the pros and cons of that stuff? That's the pros of that, would be that if they're not listening to everything you're saying, well, lo and behold, you can be saying a couple of the wrong stuff, or, screw up a little bit and still be on track. The bad side is your key points that you want to be hitting, which I explained in the features and benefits video, is they're not really understanding it. And I really get into the details in my membership area, especially, I really get into the details of that features and benefits. I go through the whole process. So if you want to learn everything from A to Z, you have to grab my membership area. And right now, as it stands, and today is the 22nd of May, 2014, it is still, the members area is still a one-time fee. It's going to turn into a monthly, more than likely, later on down the road. And, I'm going to be switching things up. But Those people who get in right away, it is an unlimited lifetime access. It helps fund the program. It helps fund everything that I am creating. It helps grow it. When I see more people who are actually engaging and taking me up, I really respect the amount of people that are ready. It's not to the level where I want it to be just quite yet, but a lot of people are taking me up on this offer. Thank you so much. I literally want to be into the point where I'm getting at least 1,000 brand new door knockers. I'm under that right now. However, I want 1,000 brand new door knockers every single month that I'm going to be training. And I'm going to be setting up, my whole long-term goal is to be setting up these training programs and building that community. So that's why I call it join the community, because you really are. For those people, right now you can get it at unlimited lifetime access to the program, and it's extremely expensive. You would laugh. One sale that you get from that detailed video, step-by-step membership area program access that I'm talking about, I'm bringing it up on the air because this is my own sponsorship. I'm sponsoring myself. I need you guys who want to take door-to-door sales serious, not you people who are test driving door-to-door sales, to take me up on that offer. It's simple. Go to doortodoormastery.com. On the right-hand side, you'll see Learn How to Sell. Click on that. You click on Learn How to Sell, and that will bring you to the Door-to-Door Mastery program, okay? And you can actually see exactly everything from A to Z that I do. It's really expensive. Go check it out, how much it is. Okay? So that pretty much summarizes the whole simple thought of, should I test drive door-to-door sales? Should I? Should I, Paul? Oh, don't should all over yourself. Shoulda all over yourself. That's what I said. Don't do that. Just focus. If you want to do it, you want to master door-to-door sales, it's for anybody. Any age, any race, male, female, you name it, it's for anybody. It's for the people who put it in their mind that I'm going to do it. Hey, I'll see you on the next episode. Thanks.
You have been listening to the Door-to-Door Mastery Podcast. It is time for you to take your door knocking to the next level. Receive Paul's free video series teaching you how to master your opener pitch, understanding your features and benefits, and knowing when and how to close the sale. Be a successful door knocker. Be there now. doortodoormastery.com. That's doortodoormastery.com.
doortodoormastery.com. Signing out. Love you all. See you on the next episode.